All right, in the last video, I promised that I'd show you how to make decisions using code, so let's actually do that. Okay, so the first thing you need to know when you're making a decision is you need to know how to compare things. So for example, in the decision we discussed in the last video, my student looked out the window and said, if it's nice outside, in other words, he was checking what the condition of the weather was. So if you're going to check what a condition is, you need to make a comparison. So nice outside, maybe he was saying, is the temperature greater than 70 degrees? If it's greater than 70 degrees, then it's nice outside. Or maybe he was saying, if it's partly cloudy, then it's nice outside. So when he's making those comparisons, in code, you'd need to use an operator to make that comparison. So here are some of the operators. If you want to compare to see if something is exactly the same as something else. So in other words, um, someone enters like their password into a system and you want to check that it's the right password. You want to say, is the password they entered exactly the same as the password we're storing? The way you do that is you'd use a triple equals sign. Um, if you wanted to see if something was not equal, then you'd use the exclamation mark and then an equals sign. Let's say for the case of the weather that we were talking about, if it's greater than 70 degrees, then he would consider it nice outside. So you would use the greater than. Um, Maybe he's willing to include 70 degrees in his scale of nice. My student that we referenced in the last video, in that case, we would use the greater than or equal to. So you'd say greater than or equal to 70 degrees, it's nice outside. Um, but we know that if it gets greater than a certain temperature, it's also not so nice outside. So maybe he was like, and as long as it's less than 85. So less than, that's the less than operator. Maybe he's okay if it is 85 exactly, so then he could do a less than or equal operator. So these are the operators we're going to use. In the next video, we're going to actually write the if statement, but when you want to make a comparison between two variables, you put this between the two variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable, let password equal password. Don't ever make that your password, but I'm going to for the sake of this video. So let's say let password equal password, and then I'm going to prompt, what is your password? And I'm going to store that in a variable, so I need to create a variable. So I'm going to say let entered password equal prompt, what is your password? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to alert the result of comparing password to the entered password. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go live and it says false. Um, I think I must have saved. So what we're going to do is we're going to reload this page. Okay, what is your password? So we're going to say password. That is the exact password. And it says true. They are exactly the same. We'll reload the page and we'll put in something else. And it says false. So those passwords were not the same. So we were able to use this comparison operator in between these two variables to figure out if they were exactly the same. And then it returned true or false. So in this case, if we entered the right password, it returned true. If we entered the wrong password, it returned false. And we'll take advantage of that in the next video.